Force yourself to organize your life, not tomorrow, not when you feel like it, now. Because the life you want, the success you crave, the future you dream about, none of it is coming until you stop living in chaos and start commanding your reality through order. Listen to me very carefully. Your dreams are not failing because the world is against you. They're failing because you are against yourself. Every day you wake up without structure, without a plan, without discipline, you are sabotaging the very thing you claim to want. And the tragedy is, you don't even see it happening. You blame circumstances, you blame timing, you blame other people. But the real enemy is staring back at you in the mirror. It's the man who refuses to organize his life. Disorder is not neutral. It is not harmless. It is a silent assassin that kills potential, murders focus, and buries dreams under piles of distraction. You think you're just being casual, flexible, spontaneous, but what you're really being is weak, and weakness dressed up as freedom is still weakness. The truth is, you cannot build an empire on a foundation of clutter. You cannot achieve greatness when your mind is scattered. You cannot rise when your day has no structure. The world does not reward confusion. It rewards clarity, and clarity only comes from order. I have studied the lives of the most successful men and women who ever walked this earth. Carnegie, Rockefeller, Ford, Edison, Lincoln. Do you know what they all had in common? It wasn't luck. It wasn't genius. It was order. They organized their thoughts, their time, their environment, their habits. They understood that success is not an accident. It is the result of deliberate, structured action, repeated daily, until it becomes unstoppable momentum. They didn't wait to feel inspired. They created systems that generated inspiration. They didn't hope for the best. They planned for victory. And because they lived in order, they achieved what others only dreamed about. You must understand something fundamental. Your external world is a direct reflection of your internal world. If your mind is chaotic, your life will be chaotic. If your thoughts are scattered, your results will be scattered. If your environment is disorganized, your actions will be disorganized. This is law. You cannot escape it. You can ignore it, but you cannot avoid the consequences. The man who lives in disorder lives in weakness. The man who creates order creates power. It's that simple, and it's that brutal. So let me ask you, what does your space look like right now? Is your desk clear or covered in clutter? Is your room organized or filled with things that don't belong? Is your schedule planned, or do you just react to whatever the day throws at you? These are not small questions. These are the questions that reveal whether you are in control of your life or whether your life is controlling you. And if you're honest, really honest, you already know the answer. You've been living in chaos for so long you've started to accept it as normal. But it's not normal. It's a prison, and you're the one who built it. The first step to breaking free is to face the truth. You are disorganized because you have allowed yourself to be. You are scattered because you have chosen comfort over discipline. You are stuck because you refuse to do the hard work of bringing structure to your life. But here's the good news. The moment you decide to change, the moment you decide to take control, everything begins to shift. Order is not something you wait for. It's something you create. And you create it by making decisions, hard decisions, uncomfortable decisions, and then following through on them every single day, without exception. Start with your environment. Your surroundings are speaking to you constantly. They are either reinforcing strength or feeding weakness. A clean, organized space tells your brain, I am in command. I am intentional. I am ready. A messy, chaotic space tells your brain the opposite. It says, I am overwhelmed. I am confused. I don't know what I'm doing. And your subconscious mind listens. It absorbs these messages and then acts accordingly. So if you want to change your actions, change your environment first. Clear the clutter. Remove the distractions. Make your space a reflection of the person you want to become, not the person you've been. This is not about perfection. This is about precision. You don't need a magazine-worthy room. You need a space that supports focus, a space that eliminates friction, a space that makes it easier to do the right thing and harder to do the wrong thing. When your environment is organized, your mind becomes organized. When your mind is organized, your actions become organized. And when your actions are organized, your results become inevitable. Now let's talk about your time. Time is the most valuable resource you have. It's the one thing you can never get back, yet most people treat it like it's infinite. They waste hours scrolling, procrastinating, doing things that don't matter, and then they wonder why their lives aren't changing. Here's why. Because time doesn't care about your intentions. It only responds to your actions. And if your actions are not organized, your time is not being invested. It's being wasted. You must become ruthless with your time. Every minute of your day should have a purpose, not because you need to be busy, but because you need to be effective. The disorganized person confuses motion with progress. They're always doing something, but they're never moving forward. The organized person knows the difference. They focus on what matters. They eliminate what doesn't. They protect their time like a treasure because they know it is. Plan your day before the day begins. This is non-negotiable. If you wake up without a plan, you're already behind. You're reacting instead of leading. You're letting the day control you instead of controlling the day. But when you start with a plan, when you know exactly what needs to be done and when it needs to be done, you move with power. You move with confidence. You move with clarity. And that clarity is what separates the successful from the struggling. Write down your priorities. Not 10 things, not 20, 3, maybe 5. The few things that, if accomplished, would make your day a success. Everything else is noise. And noise is the enemy of order. Focus on what moves you forward. Ignore everything else. This is how you win. Not by doing more, but by doing what matters most with absolute precision. Now, here's where most people fail. They plan, but they don't execute. They write down their goals, but they don't follow through. They start strong, but they fade fast. Why? Because they're relying on motivation instead of discipline. And motivation is a liar. It comes and goes. It feels good when it's there, but it's never around when you need it most. Discipline, on the other hand, is always there. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't ask for permission. It just moves. And when you build your life on discipline instead of emotion, you become unstoppable. Force yourself to act even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. That's when it matters most. That's when you're building character. That's when you're proving to yourself that you're in control. Every time you act in spite of resistance, you're strengthening the muscle of self-command. And that muscle is what determines your destiny. The man who can command himself can command his circumstances. The man who cannot command himself is commanded by everything and everyone around him. Let me tell you something you need to hear. You are not special. You are not entitled to success just because you want it. You are not going to stumble into greatness. Success is not an accident. It is the result of order, discipline, and relentless execution. And if you're not willing to organize your life, if you're not willing to structure your time, if you're not willing to force yourself to act when it's hard, then you don't deserve the results you're hoping for. That's not harsh, that's truth. And the sooner you accept it, the sooner you can do something about it. Organize your thoughts. Your mind is a battlefield, and if you're not careful, it will be overrun by fear, doubt, distraction, and confusion. You must take control of your thoughts the same way you take control of your space and your time. You do this through intentionality. You decide what you will think about and what you won't. You feed your mind with purpose, with vision, with truth, and you starve it of negativity, comparison, and excuses. Write down your thoughts. Get them out of your head and onto paper. This is one of the most powerful tools for mental organization. When your thoughts are swirling in your head, they feel overwhelming. But when you write them down, you gain clarity. You see patterns. You identify what's important and what's just noise. And once you have clarity, you can take action. Clarity is the bridge between confusion and control, and writing is how you build that bridge. Every morning, take 5 minutes to write down what you need to accomplish. Every evening, take 5 minutes to review what you did. This simple practice will transform your life. It creates accountability. It creates awareness. It creates momentum. And momentum is what turns dreams into reality, but only if it's directed. And direction only comes from organization. Now let's address the deeper issue. The reason most people resist organization is because it requires confronting themselves. When your life is chaotic, you can hide, you can blame, you can avoid. But when you bring order to your life, there's nowhere to hide. You see exactly what you're doing and what you're not doing. You see your excuses for what they are, lies, and that's uncomfortable. But discomfort is the price of growth. If you're not willing to be uncomfortable, you're not willing to grow. And if you're not willing to grow, you're choosing to stay where you are forever. Understand this. Organized people are not more talented than you. They're not smarter, they're not luckier. They simply decided to take control. They decided to stop making excuses and start making progress. They decided to force themselves to do what needed to be done, regardless of how they felt. And because of that decision, they achieved what others only talked about. You can do the same, but only if you're willing to pay the price. And the price is order. The price is discipline. The price is relentless, daily execution. Let me give you a framework. A simple system you can start using today. First, clean your space. Remove everything that doesn't serve your purpose. Your environment should be a tool, not a distraction. Second, plan your day. Write down your top 3 priorities. Do them first, before you check your phone, before you respond to emails, before you do anything else. Third, protect your time. Say no to distractions. Say no to interruptions. Say no to anything that doesn't align with your priorities. Fourth, review your progress. Every evening ask yourself, did I do what I said I would do? If yes, great. Do it again tomorrow. If no, figure out why and fix it. Fifth, repeat. Consistency is everything. 1 day of order means nothing. 1 year of order changes everything. This is not complicated, but it's hard. It's hard because it requires you to override your emotions. It's hard because it requires discipline when you'd rather be comfortable. It's hard because it exposes your weaknesses and forces you to confront them. But that's exactly why it works. Anything that's easy produces weak results. Anything that's hard produces strong results. And if you want strong results, you must be willing to do hard things, not once, not when you feel like it, every single day. Your life is a reflection of your habits, and your habits are a reflection of your discipline. If your habits are chaotic, your life will be chaotic. If your habits are structured, your life will be structured. You cannot separate the two. So, if you want to change your life, change your habits. And if you want to change your habits, start with organization. Organization is the foundation. Everything else is built on top of it. Without it, everything collapses. With it, everything becomes possible. Let me tell you about the power of a clean desk. It sounds trivial, but it's not. When your desk is clean, your mind is clean. When your workspace is organized, your thoughts are organized. This is not superstition. This is psychology. Your brain is constantly processing information from your environment. And when that environment is cluttered, your brain is working overtime trying to make sense of the chaos. That mental energy could be used for creativity, for problem solving, for execution. But instead, it's being wasted on managing disorder. Clean your desk, organize your workspace, and watch how much clearer your thinking becomes. The same principle applies to your digital life. Your phone, your computer, your inbox, these are extensions of your mind. And if they're disorganized, your mind is disorganized. Delete apps you don't need. Unsubscribe from emails that waste your time. Organize your files so you can find what you need instantly. Every second you spend searching for something is a second you're not spending building something. And those seconds add up. Over a lifetime, they add up to years. Years of wasted potential. Years of missed opportunities. Years of chaos disguised as busyness. Stop lying to yourself. You're not busy. You're disorganized. And disorganization creates the illusion of busyness because you're constantly putting out fires instead of building systems. But when you organize your life, the fires stop. or at least they become manageable. And suddenly, you have time. Time to think, time to create, time to execute. Time to become the person you were meant to be. Here's the brutal truth. You will never achieve your full potential living in chaos. Never. You can be talented, you can be intelligent, you can be ambitious. But if you're disorganized, all of that potential stays locked inside you. It never gets expressed. It never gets realized. And one day, you'll wake up and realize you wasted your life. Not because you weren't capable, but because you refused to do the simple hard work of organizing your life. Don't let that happen. Don't be the person who looks back with regret. Be the person who looks back with pride. The person who took control. The person who refused to accept chaos as normal. The person who forced himself to organize his life and, in doing so, unlocked his full power. You have everything you need to succeed, but it's buried under disorder. Dig it out. Bring order to your space. Bring structure to your time. Bring clarity to your thoughts, and then watch as your life transforms. Success is not a mystery. It's a formula. And the formula starts with organization. Organize your life and you organize your future. It's that simple. But simple doesn't mean easy. It means you know what to do. Now you just have to do it. Every day. Without fail. Without excuse. Without compromise. That's how you win. That's how you rise. That's how you become the man you were born to be. Force yourself to organize your life. Not because it's fun. Not because it's easy. But because it's necessary. Because your dreams demand it. Because your future requires it. Because you owe it to yourself to see how far you can go when you stop living in chaos and start living in order. The power is yours. The choice is yours. The time is now. Organize your life and conquer your destiny. Nothing less will do.
That's all for today. If you found value in this message, show your support by hitting the like button, subscribing to this channel, and turning on notifications so you never miss our daily releases. Take action today. Your future self will thank you.